Hi, this is Melanie for the Pardesi channel. I'm here to do a film review of Race 3 starring Salman Khan. Okay, before you Salman buys come after me, I just want you to know I went into this film wanting to like it because I am a fan of Salman Khan's films. I enjoy seeing him on screen. He has such a personality. I enjoy it, okay? But this film didn't work for me. I am not a fan of the Fast and Furious kind of films. Maybe I've seen one, maybe two of those. So that kind of genre of film is not really my thing in general. I've seen Race, but not Race 2. And what I remembered about it was, what appealed to me less was all the race, the fast cars and all of that, but more the family dynamics and the double cross and the drama. And they're trying to have that in this film, directed by Remo D'Souza, who did both of the Anybody Can Dance films. A lot of slow-mo, a lot of cool cars, just does not put together to make a great story, unfortunately. I will tell you the things that I did like, because there were several things. Some of the dance numbers looked extremely slick, and we would have expected that because Remo is also known as a great choreographer. Particularly, there was one sort of at a rooftop party that had all of the background dancers were sort of in these like black swan kind of costumes, and that looked really cool. It's a family drama. We have Salman Khan playing Saqib, who is the stepson of Anil Kapoor, and then he has two boy-girl twins, Shiraz and Sanjana, played by Saqib Saleem and Daisy Shah. And then there's a sort of bodyguard employee, Yash, who is played by Deol. So we have this family dynamic. Somehow they're in the arms business, and they're famously wealthy and living, I don't know, like in off of Dubai or something. There's a lot of desert scenes. That was one thing. The opening scene where we see Anil Kapoor, it's this desert where everybody else is wearing short sleeves and it looks like it's hot, and yet he is wearing a fur coat over a three-piece suit. And I'm like, okay, he looked cool. But he looked incredibly like warm hot, like temperature hot. I was like, really? He always had a coat on. Even indoors, frequently he had like a Burberry kind of trench coat on or something. I mean, he looked very stylish and like a multimillionaire, but it was just odd to me. It was just one little thing that I picked up that was odd. Anyway, Anil Kapoor, very good. I mean, I remember when Dil Dhadakne Do, that was so radical that he was actually showing gray in his beard and acting as a father, and I think he's embraced that. And, you know, to good effect. Here he is supposed to be the father of 25-year-old twin children. He was good with what he was given to work with. Deol, I really enjoyed seeing him back on screen. I thought he had a great dynamic with Salman Khan. Of course, we've seen the famous shirtless walk. You know, he's put in a lot of work on his body and on his comeback, and I welcome him as a supporting actor or whatever he wants to do, because I thought it was just great to see him on screen again. It was great to see him playing off Salman, so love that. Jacqueline Fernandez, I have become a real fan of hers. She just has this bubbly energy, and she really had a great banter with Salman Khan. I loved their little romantic flashback, and I loved the back and forth banter that they had. Just the chemistry between them was great. I would love to see another better film with the two of them in it again. I think I would welcome that, because I just thought she was great playing opposite Salman. I'm just a fan of hers in general. She really won me over in A Gentleman. She just is great when she has sort of a straight man to play off, and she just, yeah, she shows off her pole dancing moves again. Whoa! Whoa! I was not as big a fan of the younger twin siblings. Part of it was the way that their part was written, is that they were supposed to be these spoiled brat kind of characters who are resentful of their stepbrother, you know, Salman Khan, and they just weren't likable. They were not likable at all. And there's something I kept thinking about. You can play someone that's sort of a bad character, an evil actor, but yet have so much charisma that you win the audience over. And I kept thinking in my mind about, for instance, Shah Rukh Khan playing the Don films. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be a bad guy. He does bad things, and yet you can't stop looking at him. And that was the problem, that these kids just don't have that. Now, we've seen the scene in the trailer where you know, with a knife, she slits her skirt so that she can do all her martial arts moves. Okay, they did fine with the action scenes. It just didn't, their characters, the way they were written, I didn't find them likable at all. And that was kind of a problem with the way things go in the plot, because there's twists upon twists upon twists, which is something that we expect from the race films, but none of it really made a lot of sense or held together. I felt like this was one of those movies where you could take an individual scene and you know, you're watching all these Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all these cars and everything's blowing up, and like an individual thing might be cool, but it just didn't all hang together well and felt long, which is not something that you want to say about a Salman Khan film, that it felt like you're looking at your watch like, how much longer is this going to go on? So again, Salman Bais, I am a fan of Salman Khan, and I want him to be in good movies, but he has to be more careful about choosing projects that have a better script. And I think that's the bottom line, is the script was not that great. And also, maybe just so much money was put into the special effects and the slow-mo and the explosions, and maybe a little bit more on pumping up the dialogue and making that better, because some of them were just really sounded clunky. I want him to have a good film. That's what I'm telling you. I am a fan. I would like an Eid film to be what it was like going to see Bajrangi Bhaijaan. You know, I mean, that's what I want to have happen again, and I haven't had that kind of feeling the last couple films with Salman, and I miss that, having some connection. And that was the thing. I just felt like there was all this family drama, but I was not really, nothing about the script really drew me in and made me really care about these characters. And that was a shame. I mean, they were trying, but it just, somehow it just didn't click, and it just didn't work. Salman fans are going to wonder, does it have all of the classic things that you have, like a checklist? It's almost like I could have my bingo card. You know, did they bingo? Yeah, he did all those things. Was he sitting in a chair with a sack over his head and then he gets out? Yes. Yes, that happened. Does he have a scene where he dances and twirls on the floor? Yes. Does he rip his own shirt off? Yes. So it was like tick, tick, tick. We hit all of the Salman by things that have to happen. So, and I was just laughing at the way the shirtless scene happened. I'm not going to spoil it, but it just made me laugh, which I think it was what they wanted the audience to have, kind of that reaction that was just so completely over the top. It's just, this whole movie is just about style, but there was not a lot of substance. Now, it wasn't for me, but maybe it is for you. Maybe if you like the kind of, you know, seeing all the cool cars and seeing everything blow up, maybe that is for you. Reminded me of, it's an old comedy show called SCTV, and had John Candy. And what was going through my mind is they had this one skit where they kept saying, it blew up real good.
Blowed up good. Blowed up real good. Yeah.
It blowed up real good. That's basically what you could say about this movie. It blowed up real good. So, a disappointing outing at the theater. I wish it had been more, but still, it was fun to see Bobby Deol, Anil Kapoor, and Salman Khan and Jacqueline Fernandez all in a movie together. That was fun to see them all playing off of each other. I just wish that they had a better script to work with. I mean, Salman's character just felt like so generic, like it's Salman, I guess, you know, but, you know, he's done real characters that he's made, there's been a differentiation. I mean, Sultan was different than in Bajrangi Bhaijaan was different, you know, so, and this was just felt, I don't know, it felt a little too generic to me, like the characters were all underwritten and a little too one-dimensional. And maybe that would have helped a little bit to make me connect with the story. If you like this film review, please press that like button, share it, follow us on Twitter at PardeziYT, subscribe to the Pardesi channel, and if you hit the bell, then you'll get a notification whenever I have a new film review or trailer reaction.